Hey, I wanted to make this video on Christmas. It occurred to me last year. I got very touched. I went to a church service, a little bit as an anthropologist, or just going there to soak up the atmosphere, and Christmas really touched me in a new way. It was like I was circling it. I was bringing this awareness of like, what is this phenomena that we're doing as humans, and like what's the deeper meaning? And this is a lot like circling, where we're with someone, and at first glance it's easy to be critical and judgmental, or to not really see the depth of someone, and then as we explore, we're amazed if we bring this kind of wonder or this openness to reality, like, what's really here. So when I opened myself in this way to Christmas, it hit my heart on a deep level, because it was like, the whole of a lot of Western civilization are coming together on one day. People are flying long ways, or they're traveling long ways to be together. And it's like, what are we coming together for? And it's to celebrate. A lot of people who are not religious would say they're not coming to celebrate, the birth of Jesus. But that is what the day is about, this birth of this Messiah. And actually, you don't have to be Christian to enjoy that, because, this story that's captivated humanity for 2,000 years was being a central kind of pillar to our culture. It's about a Messiah. It's like the ultimate hero we could create in a story, the like most ethical, divine human being that embodied all the qualities we most admire. Not everyone would say that, but I actually think that's what the attempt is. And if you read the stories, there's a lot you can see in that figure, whether it's an historical true man or not. And then so Christmas becomes like, it was the birth of this divine human, this that could embody the mystery of reality, or the depths of love and wisdom, and could be a full expression of that as a human being. And Christmas Day is the celebration of that. And when I realized that, it was quite touched. It was like, humanity has made this day, or at least Western civilization has made this day to celebrate the birthing of this notion of a divine being, and not just like as a nice story that's we built our civilization around this, and I think there's a way to recapture that in our current kind of 21st century consciousness of this ancient way we've come to describe reality, and these myths that reveal deeper truths, and then if you look around at our culture and you see all this commercialization and things around Christmas that are not always that pleasant to see or that inspiring, but if you see underneath, it's like, we're all celebrating Christ consciousness, which is this the deepest divine, which is divine, if you're not religious, it could also mean transcendent, or the reality beyond what we normally sense, this like unknown that we keep discovering in this creative force of life. That we're celebrating this being embodied in a human being, and the Christmas tree can become like the tree of life, and the gifts to each other are to awaken us to the generosity of life, and I think that awakening in me, which was new, it was like, that feels like the deeper truth of what this is about. And it also made sense why, like, as a child, I used to have this amazing feeling about Christmas. And one level, it's like, because I was getting presents. But another is there was an atmosphere being created. Like, we're really taking time off from our normal life to come together and celebrate something meaningful. And I think it's important to recapture the traditions in that. And I did look up a little bit. My good friend Ewan Townsend told me that actually there's a lot of shamanic symbols in Father Christmas and the reindeer, and apparently there's something about shamans had to come down the chimney to help people, or to bring their wisdom to people in places where they were being suppressed. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are those elements. And I also heard about this pagan rituals that a little bit the Christmas tree and coming together, because in olden times it was so cold and lots of people would die from the cold and disease, so they created these symbols of hope and these ways of trying to get through the dark and the cold of the winter. So it seems like there's lots of ancient layers to this time of year, and I think it can be really profound to kind of connect to that from this kind of consciousness of like trusting life and humanity, that it's got depth. It's very easy to see the superficial sides of humanity, and there's lots of perspectives and critical perspectives of who we are. I think it's nice to go into this deeper meditative contemplation of like, what are the wonders of life? And from that perspective, I just want to leave you with this like retelling of even like the hymns become like something to like prayers. And Silent Night is the one that has really touched me, because this this really deep song about the silent night, which you could say is the silence at the heart of our consciousness. Like the deepest meditation is awakening to the stillness and silence of our consciousness, the deep peace. And this song's really about that, and then it's also, all is calm, all is bright, how vivid and alive things come in that stillness. Listen to the angels as they sing, which if you're not religious, that might be, but I think angels are just symbolizing this pure feeling we can get, this pure intuition. And then hallelujah to our King. It's like our King isn't this historical figure that we bow to, it's this Christ consciousness, this possibility that we can feel and embody the mystery and depth of love. And I think that kind of surrender or celebration of that is very moving sentiment. So I hope this can inspire you to re-look at all these like symbols around you and these hymns, and even like the Christmas movies, and even the what seems like commercial songs. Just seeing if you can open to like the deeper mystery, like why are we here? Why are we beings that have these kind of celebrations? And what could be the deeper meaning of it? So that being said, I hope you have a wonderful holiday, Christmas season, and Merry Christmas.